Flip to Freedom, episode number 36. Hello again, this is Sean Terry from the Flip to Freedom podcast, and I come to you again from my car. We call it CarCast today, and I tell you, I have been running like crazy, talking to sellers, talking to buyers, talking to students all across the country from the Flip to Freedom Academy, and actually opening the Flip to Freedom Academy, reopening it tomorrow. So my life has been hectic, but it's been so much fun. Because I don't have a boss, I can do what I want to do, when I want to do it, with who I want to do it, and I can tell you that freedom is priceless. So if you're brand new listening for the very first time today, I am here to help you get that freedom, to escape the 9-to-5, to quit your job, to fire your boss, and live a lifestyle that most people only dream of. And see, you'll learn how to do this by flipping properties in your spare time. Even if you have no cash, no credit, no experience, you've never bought or sold a house before. And like I said, the whole goal is to help you escape the 9-to-5. So how can you escape the 9-to-5? The goal is to get 1 year's worth of income in the bank as fast as possible. 2011 is this year. 2011 is the year you're going to get 1 year's worth of income in the bank, and you're going to have the option to quit your job or not and live the lifestyle that you want to live. All right? So that's what this podcast is about. And in this specific episode, we are going to talk about yellow letters. I get tons and tons and tons of calls and questions and emails and requests and everything about how yellow letters work, what to say, how to say it, what to, what list do you target, how to take control of the conversation, why do yellow letters work so well? So I get tons of calls. In this particular episode, I'm going to put it to sleep, and so I can refer anybody that asks questions back to this particular episode, and it will answer for them. So that's my goal of this particular podcast, to make sure that when you're done listening to this, you will know exactly what to say, how to say it, how to negotiate, how to find out if they're motivated, how to find out if they're not, and if they're not, how to maximize the potential for each one of the leads that calls in. Okay, so now I got to be careful doing this because I am driving and I don't want to hit the Chevy in front of me, but I'm going to do the best I can. All right, now I do want to thank Yankee 711 for submitting his review in iTunes. Thank you so much. I'd read it, but I don't want to get in. Actually, hey, I just came to a stoplight, so perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna read this to you right here. His review. Let me get it out here for you real quick. All right, so this is from Yankee 711, and he said, now think about it. He went into iTunes. He found the Flip to Freedom podcast in iTunes, and he submitted a review. And he said, amazing. He said, this guy is awesome. Not only is he giving away information that you'd have to pay hundreds or even thousands for, he walks you through how to do it. Super inspirational. I can't wait to hear more. Well, Yankee 711, thank you so much for that rockin' review. I greatly appreciate it, and I can tell you it helps so much in the rankings inside iTunes, and helps spread the word for the Flip to Freedom website and podcast there. So thanks again. So, all right. So if you want to get more about who I am and the Flip to Freedom Academy and all this stuff, I wrote a 129-page detailed comprehensive blueprint specifically designed to show you exactly how to quit your job in 19 weeks or less. Quit your job in 19 weeks or less. It's detailed, specific, down to exactly what you have to do. I don't leave anything out. I've had people like you just said, spend thousands of dollars for information I give away for free. So you can get that at flip2freedom.com. And you can download that for free if you'd like at flip2freedom.com. You see a video of me on the front, just enter your email and I'll send you a special link. All right, enough of that. Let's get into the meat of this podcast. All right, so now we're talking about yellow letters. What are yellow letters? What do you do with them? Well, first off, a yellow letter is a marketing actually a direct mail piece that works incredibly well. And it works so well that it gets an 11 to 15% response rate. Now, typical direct mail gets anywhere from a 1 to 3% response rate, and it is better than postcards, it's better than regular letters, it's better than, checks or whatever you send in the mail. It is by far the best marketing direct mail piece that you can use to attract motivated sellers to you. So now, what is a yellow letter? A yellow letter is literally a yellow piece of paper that's handwritten with red ink, and it's personalized to the seller and the seller's address, or personalized to the potential prospect and the prospect's address. So here's what it says. It says, "Dear so-and-so, I'd like to buy your house at so-and-so address. If you're interested, please call me at local phone number." And that's what you want to put. That's a yellow letter, okay? Now, this yellow letter is folded up and put inside a invitation-style envelope that has a live stamp. And on the front of the envelope, it is handwritten to the prospect. And on the back, it's your return address that's handwritten in the red ink. And it's not licked, it's tucked. The back flap is not licked, it's tucked. Now think about this. Think about if you're going through the mail just like I do over the trash can there, and you're flipping through and you see this letter that comes through that's handwritten to you with a live stamp on it, and you turn it over, it's not even licked, it's open. Of course you're going to open it. You're going to open it and you're going to read it, and you're going to go, wow, what is this? This guy wants to buy my rental property or whatever. Cool. I might want to call him, especially if you are motivated and you do want to sell a property. So it works that well. So if you can do for two different things, you can either write these yellow letters yourself, which is very easy to do. It's time consuming and your fingers are going to be bleeding, but if you write a bunch of them, or you can have it done for you. There's companies out there that will do it for you, like yellowletter.com. You can check them out. Or GoFastInc.com. Actually, if you go to GoFastInc, you can talk to Kori. She's awesome. Just tell her you want the Sean Terry special. It will cost you 92 cents per letter, and that includes a live stamp. And you just send her the list that you want to target, and they will write out the letters and have it on your doorstep within 72 hours. Okay, so now let's talk about the list. What list should you target? Well, you just don't want to blanket a neighborhood with a bunch of yellow letters. You want to target a specific list or people that potentially have equity, or they have an impending event or urgent situation that they might want to sell their house. Now, what would be that? That would be an inheritance list. One of the best ones is inheritance list. An inheritance list works so well because it's like found money. Someone inherited a property, and it could be distressed. It could be needs carpet, needs paint, needs roof, might be in bad condition. It might need an AC, and it's not in good condition to just stick on the market. It's definitely not in a good condition to rent. So what do they have to do? They want to sell it, and they want to sell it quick. They don't have to deal with financing or selling it with financing and inspection reports and appraisal reports and all that type of stuff. They don't want to deal with that. They just want a quick sale, and they're willing to discount it because, like I said, it's like found money. So inheritance list is a great source to market to. You can get that from Lance at usleadslist.com, usleadslist.com. You can get it from him. The next one is absentee investors. These are investors that own property locally but live out of state. And these are great because if you catch them at the right time, where either the tenant moved out, they trashed the property, for health reasons they want to get out of it, or whatever the case may be, you might catch them at the right time, and they're going to want to sell that property. I have bought and sold tons of properties from absentee investors. It's a great, great source to get motivated sellers. Okay, now I'm going to tell you one thing though, is that we had a guy go out and handwrite 1,500 yellow letters to absentee owners. And he got the list from listsource.com. Now, in listsource.com, there are specific criteria that you can sort the list down so you can narrow it down to the best potential prospects. Okay? So what happened is that he left out two critical elements that basically allowed him only to get one deal out of 1,500 letters. Now, he made $4,000, almost $4,000, but he still could have made a lot more if he would have done the search criteria through ListSource correctly. Now, what is that search criteria? Well, first off, you want to make sure that you target deed origination date, the date they bought the property, 1999 and below. So you know they have equity, and there's potentially some deferred maintenance on the property. So that is the first one. The second one is mortgage amount $50,000 or less. Now, depending on your city, now if you're in San Francisco, you might put $300,000 or less. less, or $250,000 or less, or $100,000 or less. But here in Phoenix, it's $50,000 or less, because the average median home price is about $120,000, $130,000 or so. So $50,000 is about half of that. So you know you have built-in equity in the property. So those two different things will narrow the search down to only the deals that have equity, and also people that have owned property for a while and there might be some deferred maintenance on it. So he went out and he was just sending letters to everybody and their brother, people that just bought properties, and people were going, what the heck are you sending me a letter for? I just bought it. No, I don't want to sell it. And they had kind of an attitude with him. So those two little tweaks save him a bunch of money. So guess what? You don't have to make those mistakes as well. All right, so that is absentee investor. The next one is probate. You can go down to your local probate court downtown, and you can pull the information down there, and you can target probate leads. It's very similar to inheritance, and very high motivation there. Next one could be pre-foreclosures. Again, do not target pre-foreclosures, all of them, because most of them are upside down. Target pre-foreclosures with deed dates 1999 and below. And you can ensure that they'll have equity, some sort of equity inside there. Now, there might not be that many for the particular county you're in, but there will be some deals, potential deals in there. So that's, pre-foreclosure. You've got, free and clear properties. What if you want to target free and clear? Another great source. Go into listsource.com, search no mortgage amount, and you can do transaction dates, 1999 and below. So you don't want to do all no mortgage amounts, because someone might just bought a property at the courthouse steps, pay cash for it, and they're not going to want to sell it. But if you have a 1999 below and they owe nothing, fire. I got to move out of the way here. All right, we're good. All right, so you want to make sure that it's 1999 and below on those specific ones. All right. So now that is the lists that you want to target, and you want to target those, and you don't want to do obviously any blanket mailings. Okay. So now you know exactly what the yellow letter is, right? You know where you can get it written. You can write it yourself or have someone write it for you, and you know the list to target and where to get the list from. Okay. So now let's say you went out and you ordered your batch of yellow letters from, say, GoFastInc, and you ordered it from Lance over at US Leads List, and now the letters are now come to you, and they're sitting in front of you. Okay, you got them in front of you. You're excited. It's a big box of all these letters, and you're going, now what? Well, I can tell you. Now, first off, make sure the calls go to a local number, and you can either send it to a Google Voice or you can send it to like an e-voice number. So it just goes to a voicemail that you can retrieve them on your time frame. Okay, just want to throw that in. All right, so now you're sitting there, you get these letters in front of you. What do? Well, of course, you're going to be intimidated. You're going to be nervous. You're going to be, holy cow, you're going to be scared. You're going to be like, what if I screw up? What if I say something stupid? What if I blow it? What if I sound like an idiot? Remember, in the last episode I talked about, you're projecting fears into the future of what potentially could happen. Well, I can tell you, get over it. Just mail it. The more times you take the calls, guess what? You're going to get over it. You got that learning curve you're going to go through. When you take the 50th or 100th call, you are going to be better than taking your first call. It's just like playing baseball, just like playing golf. Your fifth time, you're better than your first time. You look like an idiot off the first tee on the first time, but guess what? Your fifth time, you're getting better because you've been there and done that. That's the exact same thing with anything in life, like riding a bike. First time you get on the bike, you gotta have a helmet, you got knee pads, you're flopping all over the place, your dad's trying to help you ride it, or you might fall off and scrape your knee. Well, what do? Do you just not ride your bike again? No. You get up and you get back on. Same thing. So what do? Get them in the mail. Go to the post office right now, get them in the mail, and get that phone ringing. That is that's the number one thing. So now you put it in the mail, you got calls coming in, and now you see your Google Voice account and it starts filling up with all these calls, and you're going, holy, now you got to call them back. Now what I suggest is that call them back where you're in front of a computer. Now the first thing you want to do when now people are calling in is the overall goal is, first off, is just relax. And you want to put in your head, your goal is to try to help them solve their problem. Okay? You want to help them solve their problem. And you're looking for motivation. You're trying to find motivation in their voice. Now, what would be motivation? I'll give an example. Motivation might be where a guy calls up and he says, you call him back and say, hey, you got my letter? And they say, hey, listen, I had this rental property for about 20 years. The tenant just moved out. They trashed the place, and I just can't afford right now to go fix it up. And it's sitting vacant right now. And I just don't like to get it vandalized. And, I just got to get out of this property. That would be motivation. That would be a sign of motivation. Okay? Now let's back up real quick before you get into that. The goal is to help them get out of their situation. So just remember that. Someone asked me the other day, should I have a script? No, I hate scripts. Don't go through a script because then you're going to sound like a robot. Just be a normal guy, normal girl. Get on the phone and start talking to them and saying, hey, listen, and when people call in, and I'm going to tell you what they're going to say right now. They're going to call in, they're going to say, hey, I got your letter in the mail. First off, how'd you get my information? How'd you know I was looking to sell? And say, honestly, I didn't know you were looking to sell, Joe Blow, but we got your information from the tax records. And what we did is kind of did a search through the tax records looking for people, that for looking for properties that potentially fit our criteria: 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,200 square feet plus, and in a specific area you'd like to buy in. I'm not a realtor. I'm an investor, private investor. I'm looking for properties to fix and flip, or looking for properties to turn around and sell, or buy as buy and hold for rental purposes. So your property happened to fit in that particular criteria, and I was wondering if you're looking to sell. And the guy's going to say either yes or no. He's going, nope, not looking to sell. Had it in the family for years. We'd never sell. Well, okay, then you're done. End of conversation. Or they're going to say, well, I consider selling, but what's your offer? Heard that before, haven't you? Well, first off, you go, whoa, let's back up there, Joe. First off, can you tell me about the property? And he's going to go, the property, it's a 3-bed, it's a 2-bath. Now, some people, most of the time, 99% of the time, people are fine. Sometimes they're going to be a jerk. Well, you should know about the property. You sent me the letter. I said, listen, Joe, listen, you know what? I sent probably about 500 letters this week. I don't know your property specifically. I've never drove by it. It meets the criteria of what we'd like to buy, and I wonder if you like to sell. If you want to sell, great. I'd be happy to make an offer on it. And if not, that's fine too. We don't have to waste each other's time now, do we? And guess what? You'll either end the conversation right there, or the guy's going to go, okay, I'm not going to intimidate this guy. And then you take control of the conversation, okay? And you take control of the conversation by asking questions. So now the guy calls in, says, how'd you get my information? You're going to relay how you got your information through the tax records. You're looking for specific properties. You're not a realtor. You're a buy and hold investor or fix and flipper. Can you tell me about the property? Now they're going to start telling you about the property. 3-bed, 2-bath. You're looking for big ticket items like the roof, like the AC, like the plumbing, like the electric. Do they have big ticket items that need repairs? Okay, so now they're going to start telling you about the property. So then you can start asking questions. So how long have you owned it? Oh, you've owned it for 20 years. Great. How is it currently occupied, or is it vacant? Oh yeah, I currently have it rented right now. I get a tenant in there paying about $600-700 a month. Oh great. Are they consistently paying every month? Are they pretty good payers? Yeah, well, they're late here and there, just like any other renter is. But is there any big major repairs on the property needed? Yeah. And they'll ask questions like that. Is there any debt on the property? We owe, a small loan of $30,000 or so, and you start asking these different questions to try to get a feel of their motivation level. So first off, you're looking to figure out a way you can help them. Second off, you're looking for that motivation level. And now, if they say, listen, I talked to this guy a week ago. He's like, listen, I've got the best tenant. They're incredible. They've come to my daughter's wedding. They pay on time. They might even want to buy the property. It's been the best case scenario, the best renter property. Okay, that's not a motivated seller. So I'm going to say, hey, well, great, man. That's awesome. I said, well, down the road, if it becomes a pain in the neck, keep my letter, and I'd be happy to make an offer on it. So you're looking for motivation. Motivation is obviously key component for being able to buy the property at the right price. All right. So Now, if the person is not motivated or you don't sense that motivation, what do? Okay, well, I'm going to tell you that in a sec. But first off, let me back up. For every 25 leads that you get, one is going to be that motivated seller. One is going to be like, okay, I got to get rid of this property. I got to sell it. I'm in a bad situation. I need to get rid of it. 1 out of 25. So now you have 24 other leads that are not showing serious signs of motivation. So what do you do with those leads? That's the question. So you're sitting in front of your computer, is what I do. And I have all the information. I have information there and pulled up in front of me. I'll have the comps right there in front of me, and I'll start asking them the questions: 3-bed, 2-bath, how's the roof, how's the AC, how's the plumbing, how's the electric, is it occupied, is it rented, what are they renting for, how's their pay history, do you have any debt on the property? All these questions, right? In a friendly manner. What would be the reason you're looking to sell? If we could cut a deal, I could buy the property. How fast would you look to close? Those are basically finding out motivation questions. So now you're sitting on there. They're not that complete motivated seller, but then now you have the comps in front of you, and then you're talking to them and says, well, I'm just trying to look at numbers here, and obviously I haven't seen your property. I'm sure it's in excellent condition, but I haven't seen the property. But just looking at the numbers of what's going on in the neighborhood, it looks like the numbers are so X. Let's call it 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 or so. Now let's say you see that the value through Total View Real Estate, totalviewrealestate.com. You go in there because it brings in all the values. It's a site that was designed by Dean Graziosi, which is another real estate investor that has some great information. He put the site together, and it's phenomenal for pulling comps. So you have that information in front of you. Let's say it says the value is $100,000, but then you also see closed transactions, or maybe a bank owner distressed properties are selling for $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. So when you're talking to the seller, you do what's called a soft pass. And it's basically saying, so listen, I understand, I haven't seen the property, but I can just see, looking through the numbers of what's selling in your neighborhood, it looks like stuff's going around from like 32,000, 36,000, 48,000, for those numbers. So, I'm probably going to be around those numbers. Now, would you consider an offer around those numbers, if that's what market bears? Now, they're going to say two things. They're going to say, absolutely not. There's no way I'd sell the property for that little. Or they're going to say, well, if that's what the numbers are and that's what the value is, I consider selling at that number. So that is going to be another out of 24 leads. The other 24 that you have, you're going to have another 1 or 2 that are going to say that, right? They're going to land on that option, and that's an all-cash, low option, and they're going to land on it. When they say that, you set the appointment. When they have that motivation, and you sense that motivation, you set the appointment. You don't go into numbers, nothing. You set the appointment. When you make that low offer pass, the soft pass I just talked about, after that, and they go, I consider selling for about that number, you set the appointment. Okay? Then, now if they say, absolutely not, there's no way I'd sell for that lower number, I wouldn't do it. Well, this is what I say. You say, listen, we could do this. I can pay higher, but would you consider seller financing, where you'd actually carry a note back on the property, or we keep existing financing in place? See, if I have to go out and I have to go raise capital to purchase the property cash, obviously there's a cost of money, and you know how hard it is to get loans in this market right now. So if you're willing to do a seller carry on the property, I could probably get a higher price. Would you consider doing a seller carry? If they say, I consider doing a seller carry. Well, if you do a seller carry, we could probably get up to about, 50,000, 55,000, 60,000. I said, would that be more reasonable to you? And they're going to go, well, if we do a seller carry, and I'd probably consider that. Say, great. When's a good time we can meet? Then you set the appointment. If they say, absolutely not, there's no way I'd do a seller carry, no way I'm not doing a seller carry, then that's a dead lead. That's a dead one. So what to expect? Out of 25 leads, 1 is going to be the hot motivation one. The balance of them, you got 24 left, another 4 or 5 are going to be either the soft pass on a low number, or they're going to do seller financing. The balance, the other 20 leads, are going to be dead, and you're going to have to throw them away. Okay? That is how the numbers work out. And basically what you're doing is doing that soft pass is enabling you to test motivation by giving a number out. Now, when you go meet them and you're sitting down with them and negotiating, well, guess what? That number is going to get lower, because then you're going to start tacking off any type of repairs on the property, or anything, roof damage, AC damage, landscaping, whatever it may be. That number is going to get lower from that standpoint. Now you're going to be able to meet them and go through the property and actually see what you got on your hands there. Okay, so that's exactly how you deal. So now you know what a yellow letter is. Now you know exactly what list to target. You know what to say when someone calls in. You know you have to take control of the conversation by asking questions, right? And then you know exactly how to handle them to try to determine which ones, how to maximize the amount of profit out of each potential lead. So now you have that. So now you have a systematic approach to dealing with these yellow letter calls coming in. Now, this could be for pretty much any lead source. You could do this for internet marketing. You can do this for anything, really. But you're literally bandit signs. You can do it for bandit signs. But yellow letters is a huge source of leads for us. So we do take a lot of yellow letter calls. Now, you could have someone take the calls for you. You could have a virtual assistant take the calls for you if you'd like. Now, if you do that, you can have them basically just find that motivated seller and then have them have a script that they can ask questions. Now, you're going to get a lot less deals that way. You're going to miss, I think, the other 4 deals or so. I know when we had our assistant taking the phone calls, we got a lot less leads, that a lot less potential deals, because I kind of knew what to look for. But what they can do is they can sort out all the people that are definitely do not want to sell, or just curious. They can sort out those people and just get down right to the meat, so you're actually only calling people that have a potential motivation to sell. So that's good for what an assistant can be used for, to take calls for you. All right, so in this episode, we talked about the yellow letters, how to use them. It is by far one of the best marketing methods to find motivated sellers. It's very easy to do because you get your phone calling in. They call into a voicemail, and on your own time and on your own leisure, you can call them back. Literally nobody is targeting these type of leads, so it's a great untapped source where you can actually dive in and start getting tons of deals off that, which is great. All right, so a little announcement here. Today is the 19th. Tomorrow, I open up the Flip to Freedom Academy. So if you're getting this on a time delay, I know a podcast is a time delay, just go to flip2freedomacademy.com. If it's open, then hooray. If it's not, then that's fine too. We'll be open at sometime in the next 6 or 8 months or so, in the future sometime, whatever. But the bottom line is, inside the Flip to Freedom Academy, I go through all this in detail, a detailed video, step by step, exactly, specifically, what lists to target, how to sort the list, how to take the phone calls, what to say, how to do internet marketing. I do the entire gamut, basically, in each detailed step that you can go through. Then we do coaching calls every 2 weeks, so you can have information, and ask questions and get them answered for you, which is phenomenal. So, Flip to Freedom Academy opens tomorrow, reopens tomorrow. We're going to be open for a short time, of course, because only we can work with just a handful of people, and then we close it right back down, and then work with those people, help them get checks, and reopen it again if we can. So it's definitely been exciting. So I hope this been a beneficial podcast to you. If you'd like to get more information or download my free book, go to flip2freedom.com, flip2freedom.com. And until next week, I wish you ultimate success in your real estate investing career. Take care, and God bless.